What's the fastest way someone can kill their credit score? What is the actionable step, that someone can do right now?
Credit can change your life in so many ways. It's just all about how you think about it and how you execute. The moment I was able to get $1,000 limit without even having a profile, I probably spent $100. I spent $100 to get $1,000. I was like, what? The reason why you're failing is because you don't have information. So you can do all this with credit and people are not taking advantage of it. It just didn't make sense to me because I love information, and this was the most information that I ever got. This was the most craziest information that I ever got. The sky is really the limit. There's no cap on what you can do. Believe in yourself, invest in yourself. Don't let a tool put you in a hole. Don't let money be the reason you don't do what you want to do.
Why do you think most business owners are scared of using credit? Welcome back to the Rich Conversation Show. We got my dog Jaheem back with another podcast. You know what I mean? He was on here once before, but we're back with another episode. Today we're just gonna go over, kind of his situation again, and where he's at now since the last episode, and how he's continuing to grow. So let's get right into it without further ado. Let's do it.
What's going on? What's going on? My name's Jaheem Hyman. If you don't know me already, I'm from Baltimore. I fix credit. My company is 100K Solutions. I came with a little swag today. Don't hate me for it, but yeah.
Okay. If they don't know you already, where you're from, how you started out, and why do they see you right now?
Okay, so I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. I started out fixing credit on my own. I was a disputer. I was the one that learned how to do disputes manually. I took time out. My first ever dispute was about 4 hours. I took 4 hours to dispute one account. But what that information taught me is how to actually get through a report faster. I wanted to have the information, so if I ever needed to, I'd be able to do it.
Okay. Give my backstory. Before you started disputing, how did you start out in entrepreneurship?
Okay. I started out in entrepreneurship. Honestly, I stopped working at like 19. I'm a hustler. I'm still in. I was selling phones. I was referring people, middlemaning, anything I can do instead of working. That's what I was doing. But I never did nothing illegal, though. That's the only thing, because I didn't feel like it was cool. That's just my perspective of it. I feel like I always wanted to be different, and I still am. So I ain't really do nothing illegal. I wanted to do it the legal way and still go crazy with it.
Okay. When was your first time? Have you always been an entrepreneur?
Basically, no. Matter of fact, nah. Because I worked at, my first ever job was 18. I got my first ever job at 18.
Where?
I worked at Amazon.
Okay.
And when I got the Amazon job, I was the one that got the job, and I was working 60 hours. I needed everything. I needed everything. The checks was about probably like 12, the taxes, etc. My main goal was to get a V. I wanted to get a vehicle. I needed to get a vehicle. I needed to be mobile. I was in college, not college. When I was in high school, I didn't have a vehicle, but my friends did. But I just seen how much mobility and how much access to other things that the vehicle provided. So I was like, I need to get a car. So I worked at Amazon. I got the vehicle. And then after I got the vehicle, them 60 hours turned to 20. Then it went to 10. Then it went to, and then I just picked up some information towards I didn't need the job. I got some friends. I got some relationships. And then I was able to start making money with phones and other things.
Okay. Now, when was your first introduction into credit? Who told you and what caught your mind I got to get on this right now?
The crazy thing is, remember the phone thing I told you about?
Mm-hmm.
I got into credit before I got into the phones. I had a roadblock relationship thing, foggy. We all have these moments. But I met my cousin. It's the first time I met him, though. It's crazy. He's about 28, 27. First time I ever met him, we instantly clicked. He just started talking about credit or something. And then I had told him, just out of the blue, I had a credit card. Thing is, I had a Bank of America. It was a Star card. It's the white little card. I forgot what it's called. The white card, $200. I put $200 on there. Thing is, I never made a payment on this card, but they never gave me a late payment. I feel like it was destined for me. It probably was. It was destined. I'm saying it was destined for me. So with that being said, after I told him that, and then he just started giving me some game about it, and I was curious. I'm like, so you can do all this with credit, and people are not taking advantage of it? It just didn't make sense to me. because I love information, and this was the most information that I ever got. This was the most craziest information that I ever got. Credit can change your life in so many ways. It's just all about how you think about it and how you execute.
Okay. What was your mindset with money growing up? You know, how was it, and how did you look at money?
To be honest, my mindset with money, I feel like I've never been really money deficient. Like I really didn't understand money kinda like growing up. It's just I didn't really have it. I didn't have it. Like my family didn't have it. Struggled. Like I'm from Baltimore, bro. Yeah, it's real out there. But I struggled most of the time, place to place, house to house, etc. I didn't really get no real money until I was like 18 when I got my first job. That's when I really started getting money. So what that taught me was to get my first thought on money was to get whatever I couldn't get when I didn't have money. Everybody has that moment. If you're in that moment, it's okay. It's a phase. But when you get out that phase, you gotta lock in.
Did having bad credit ever block you from trying to get something you were trying to do?
Growing up, nah, I never even tried to use credit, to be honest. I just got a card. I got a credit card, and I just left it alone at that. Like, I don't even know why I got the card. I'm grateful that I did go get the card. I don't know why I went to go get it, though.
Okay. Now, when did you realize that, okay, I see this, but I can turn this into something bigger that can help other people? When did you see that?
The moment I was able to get $1,000 limit without even having a profile from just spending. So I think I probably spent $100. I spent $100 to get $1,000. I was like, what? So what I spent $100 on was the information that somebody had to help me get approved for the credit card. And then after that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm doing this. There's no way I'm not doing this. So then I went into mentorship. I started doing my own research first. It's important that you do your own research first. It's super important. And then I started looking at people that I wanted to learn from. So I just happened to get I got the mentorship from the same person that helped me get my first ever $1,000 limit.
Okay. Now, when you first invested in yourself to learn about the topic, credit, what were some bottlenecks you had, and what were some problems that you seen trying to learn this stuff?
I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. I paid him to teach me how to do credit, but I was still trying to get him to do it. But he was so busy that even me reaching out to him multiple times, so he taught me all the information. We did the Zoom calls. He showed me how to break down the file, etc. But I still was trying to get him to do it. But gracefully, he was so busy that he didn't want to do it, that he didn't even do it, that one day I was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to try it. If it don't work, then it don't work. It worked, and I was able to get results in like a week and a half. So I'm like, I'm about to try everybody else. Once I see something works, for me, it only got to work one time. And then once I see it works, I mean that it can continue to work. It's just all about how you go about it. It's just like any roadblock. It's levels. So say, for instance, you're on level 1. It's pretty simple. But when you get to that level 2, there's different things you have to learn. You got to learn different things. You got to learn how to maneuver. There's never going to truly be a pause. It's just you don't have the information to get to that next level.
Okay. Now, in your journey of learning all the information, what was a low point that you hit? Was it recently, in the past, or just anything you can think of right now that, where you had a point in your life where you were doing all this, but you're still deep down not wanting to continue,
I wouldn't necessarily say continue, but I had a foggy phase. So much when I'm consuming so much information, and it just paused me to kind of push and delay everything off, because I didn't even think it was completely fully possible to continue to do what I was doing at a point. Like, I'm doing so much greatness. I'm helping so many people, and in my mind, I'm like, I can do better. I'm not doing enough. There's no way that this ain't enough. I feel like I'm like 20% of my full potential. Even now, I'm probably 25%. But that's not going to stop me no more, because honestly, I love doing this. This is something that I actually love doing. I feel like I always come to a point where I'm starting to realize that even with clients, I care about their credit more than I care about mine. And I got to learn how to pull apart from that. Because if people aren't willing to care about their credit more than me, then when it comes to a point where you have to detach yourself from the most important thing to actually build your credit, and it's money. You have to detach yourself from money and able to build your credit. Because if you detach yourself from money, you'll always be able to invest in your credit.
Okay. What kept you going when things weren't working for you, man?
What kept me going? To be honest,
In business, life?
just seeing how far I can. I'm in way too deep. I can't stop. Right? I'm in too deep. It's like I ain't no going back. Why would I go back? I'm already done so many things. I've done so many great things. I've made the money, of course, but I've done so many achievements. I've helped so many people. I've had people cry to me on the phone, tell me they love me. I've like, it's crazy just like how much I've been able to impact people's lives just off information that I was willing to sit down with. And the most important thing is invest in myself. I don't have a cap on how much I invest in myself. I don't care what the limit is. If I feel like it's important and if I feel like it'll help me, I'll spend it.
Okay. Now, what opportunities opened up for you when you got access to having good credit?
Everything. I feel like when when you got bad credit, everything is foggy and dark. Like you don't notice it, but it's there. I promise you it's there. It's like you can't do nothing. It's like you can't do nothing right. You don't know what to do. It's all fog. But when I started having good credit and I see how they treat you, even when you walk in the bank, they treat you different. They see your report, they see your card, you pull out an Amex, you pull out a Chase card, people automatically start to look at you different. Like, oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Especially being young, as I was, like I got my Amex, I think I got my Amex at like 21. And I already look young. So I looked super young with an Amex, and people approach me differently because of it.
Okay. Now, if somebody wanted to build their personal credit up right now, but they actually have cash available, like they're not just someone who's starting off with no money. They have money available, but they just don't have the credit. What would you say to that person?
Okay, so they have the money available, but they don't have credit.
Yeah, it's holding them back. They can't do nothing, but the money's not a problem.
You're ahead of the game. You got what most people don't have. You have liquid cash. So what you got is a cheat code. You can get funding faster than anybody else because you already have the source. So what you do is you invest more into your credit. If you want to get funding fast, you have to invest more. That's the only thing. So the first thing you will be able to do is the easiest thing, build out relationships. What are you doing? Just sitting your money in these bank accounts. Sit your money in these bank accounts for a set amount of time. And then when you apply for these cards, when you apply for these loans, or you apply for these cards with this bank, they know who you are. You already set your money in there. Get a score, build a relationship, get whatever you want.
Okay. Break it down more in detail. So all right, break it down more in detail. If someone has, liquid cash available or, money in their bank account over $1,000, how would they build their credit considering they're not the person who's starting with zero? They have money. They just need the credit.
Okay. So the first thing you would do is you would build with starter accounts. If you get starter accounts, what I primarily like to do is I like to put you in Ava because they give you two of the most important things. They give you a credit card and they give you a loan, which is credit mix. And then they give you rent reporters. So even if you don't have credit, if you are paying rent, which you're most likely are, especially if you're just a cash person, you're paying rent. Take that rent that you're already paying for, have it report on your credit, 2 years. Just by you're paying the rent reporter to report the rent information that you're already paying. The next thing I would tell you to do is to build out relationship with credit unions. If you want to get funding for higher limits, credit unions is always going to be the way. Navy Federal, NASA, PenFed, etc. They are always going to be the best way for you to be able to get funding, the fastest and the most highest limits. And then the next thing that you have to do is you have to make sure you're not missing these payments. Because you're a cash person, you don't tend to really look at the technology as enough or as much, but it's super important that you at least write them down. Write down the notes, somewhere where you will look at it, because if you miss these payments, you're at square one. You're at square one. And you don't even need that $4,000. The information I just gave you, it only take about $200. So what you do with that other $800 is you put it in the bank that you want to get the most funding from. So say, for instance, if you wanted to go to Navy, put that $800 in there, checkings and savings. Chase, checkings and savings.
Okay. Tell them about the pledge loans. What about the pledge loans?
Pledge loans is important because they basically give you the money that you're putting in. So you're basically getting money for putting money in the account. Like I don't know why more people don't do it. It's a no-brainer. It just doesn't make sense. You're literally getting money for putting money in an account. And of course, what I would tell you to do if you're under my program is pay off 90% of it or 80% of it. And then do the monthlies, get it towards, it's like $10, $15. Let it strong out as long as you can, because what you're basically doing is you'll have an 80% loan paid off on your credit report. So when lenders look at your report, they're like, oh, you have a loan on your report. So if you put $10,000 in a pledge loan, you're going to get that $10,000 back instantly. Don't even worry about it. You paid off 80%. They're like, oh, wow, you paid off 80% of $10,000? Yeah, you can. I'm pretty sure you can handle $15,000, $20,000. And all you did was put money in there and you got your money right. You got your money in your pocket. You just got the lenders thinking that you paid off 80% when you still got your money in your pocket.
Okay. Now, a lot of people do try to fix their credit themselves. What would you say to them people, and why do they fail most of the times?
What would I say to those people? I would say you're already ahead of most people. You're doing something that people don't even want to do or don't even think is possible. The reason why you're failing is because you don't have information. You don't have the information. ChatGPT cannot save you. ChatGPT cannot save you. ChatGPT can only help you to an extent. You cannot fully use ChatGPT to help you completely repair your credit because there's different situations. There's different situations and there's different scenarios with your credit report. The most thing that stops everyone is information. No, actually, the most thing that stops everyone is the verification process. So that is the process where you have to verify your identity, etc. And most of the time, they won't even look at your report if you don't use the right laws.
Okay. Now, what makes you different? Say if somebody came to you to fix their credit, what makes you different from everybody else?
What makes me different is I'm genuine, and I most likely care about your credit and your goals more than you. I know it might be crazy, but I get excited. It's like it's something in me that I just get excited when people start accomplishing their goals, because I love the reactions that people get. I love reactions. Like, it's like, wow, how, who? Like, it's like something that you've never thought would ever be possible, I'm helping you achieve. Like, that is like one of the greatest feelings to me.
Okay. In the industry, in the credit repair industry specifically, what's the difference between actually getting somebody real results versus them just seeing a credit score increase?
Okay, so getting somebody real results is helping them achieve what they actually strive for. If you just have a score, you just have a score on paper. You're at square one. If you don't know how to use the information, or if you don't know how to use credit, you're going to mess it up again. You don't know what to do. You're going to go get phones. You're going to go get some phones with your credit when if you have a 760 credit score, even if your profile is not fully built out, you can still go get $10,000, $20,000. But you got to learn. You got to actually have the guidance to do that. And that's what I provide. I provide the guidance.
Okay. Now, how long realistically does it take for someone to fix their credit up if they were looking to do that?
Most clients do see results within the first 30 to 60 days. 90 days on the higher end if you have like repossessions and bankruptcies. But right now, they not even holding. So I would say about 75 days for bankruptcies and evictions, something like that.
Okay. Now, what's the difference between fixing credit and building the credit? I thought it was the same.
Yeah. I got a video going up right now. I'm pairing those two together right now. They're versus each other. Credit repair is not the same as credit building. Credit repair puts you back in neutral. Credit building gets you to the funding, gets you the cars, the homes. credit building is the most important part of fixing and building your credit.
Okay. Now, do you need money to start building credit? Like, can you not have any money and build your credit, or do you at least have to be stable?
You have to be stable. I'm going to be completely honest with you. You have to be stable. How are you going to build credit if you're not willing to invest in yourself? You need credit builder accounts. You need some type of something. Even if it's a secure card, you still need to you got to put money on it. So you got to be willing to spend that tool. Money is a tool. It's a tool to get you what you want. You cannot treat money more important than your happiness. You cannot put money over your goals.
Okay.
You only live one life.
Okay. Now, to the business owners out there, why do you think most business owners are scared of using credit?
I feel like they're scared of using credit because they don't know what to do with all the money, or they're scared they're going to mess up. And that's your first mistake. You're already thinking about what you're not going to do or what you're not going to be able to achieve. Or your first mindset should be, what if I can? Now, what if I do this? And what if this? Like, you should be thinking about the positives more than the negatives. The negatives stray you away every time.
Okay. Now, how would you help a business owner if a business owner came to you, they have bad credit, but they actually have a business that's doing, decent? What can you do for that person?
Oh, so the first thing that I would do is I would get you business revenue-based funding. We're going to go get you funding based off what your business is already doing, and then we're going to double back and fix your personal credit. Because once you see I'm able to get you revenue, because you came to me to get funding, I'm able to get you revenue just based off what your business is doing, you're going to want more funding. So now I'm going to help you fix your credit up, your personal credit up. We're going to have to start off personal guaranteeing. And then what that is going to do, that's going to open up the doors for you to get those travel benefits, the credit cards, etc. Credit cards have way more benefits than a lot of people know.
Okay. Now, what if they don't want revenue? What if they don't want revenue-based funding? Then what?
If they don't want revenue-based funding, but their business is doing revenue, you got to fix your credit. You have to fix your credit. They won't give you nothing. They're going to look at you like they don't care. I talk to people all the time who make $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month. And they tell me, I make the money, but they still deny me. I got to do triple the deposits. I got to talk to so many people. They treat me like you're basically like you're not there. They don't care about how much money you're making. They care about what your report says, because your report tells them how responsible you are. That's what credit tells you. How responsible are you?
Okay. What's the fastest way someone can kill their credit score?
Missing payments. I promise you this. You miss a payment, that 700, that 800 will turn into, you'll lose 100 points automatically. First payment, it doesn't matter if it was a day. They don't care if it was an hour late. You miss a payment, it's over with.
Okay. Now, what score should they aim for? What credit score should I, ideally have if I'm trying to get something?
If you're trying to get something, the scores you can aim for is around, you can get whatever you want at a 680, to be honest. You can get whatever you want at a 680, but realistically, I would say aim around the 720 range or even the 700, because it just looks better. It looks better. But to me, I feel like data points are super important. And that's what I've been working on with my 100K network. I've been working on teaching people how to use those data points. I've been able to get people $10,000, $20,000 in funding with 3 months of age on their credit report because I know the data points. I know exactly what they're looking for. I know exactly what income situation. I know exactly what type of industry they're looking for. I know who they want to lend to. And that is super important. And that's how you're able to get lending. That's how you're able to actually get funding fast too as well. The data points.
Okay. Now, why do the banks usually give money to people who already have money?
Oh, because if you already have money, then you'll easily be able to pay them back.
Okay. Now, why do you feel like that wealthier people use their credit more than the average person?
Because wealthy people already know that using other people's money is the best way to elevate. Why would I use my money when I can take this person's money invest into this investment that's going to give me 10 or 3x of what I just got, and then I get to pay them back. You can have your money, but I just 10x and 3x. So I just made money. Why wouldn't I keep washing, repeating, and doing this?
Okay. Now, what advice would you give to somebody who's struggling financially right now, but they're trying to get in a better situation?
Get a job. I'm going to tell you to get a job. You got to get a job, or you got to turn your hustle up. Even if you're selling clothes, whatever, it don't matter. You got to get some sort of income, especially in this day and age. You need some type of source of income, and then start investing in your credit. Like for me, I tell everybody, put credit as a priority. When I was down, even when I was at my lowest, I made sure my credit was 100% right. Credit was my first priority. And this still is. Credit has to be a priority. It cannot be something that I want to fix my credit, but you don't really want to fix it. You just like the look of it. You have to make credit a priority if you really want to use the benefits that it come with.
Okay. Do you only help people with personal credit, and is there just a personal credit score, or is there other scores?
No, there's a business score. There's a personal score.
What is the business score?
The business scores is the PayDex score. You have a PayDex score that people can use to get funding. You can get funding on your business sites. Most of the time, if you're starting completely scratch with the business funding, they'll start you off with charge cards, and then you'll have to work your way up. Charge card is just like the Amex. So with the Amex, if you spend $2,000, they're expecting you to pay that $2,000 back. But if you have a business and you are starting off with the charge cards, pay that $2,000 back. Some cards will allow you to do a minimum payment, but from experience, pay the money back. They'll keep increasing how much you can use. And then at a certain point, when you've done it enough times, you won't even have to use charge cards. You'll be able to get actual credit cards. And what those charge cards is going to do for you when you're starting a business is actually help you build out that business relationship so they know you can pay them back. You're already, of course they're going to know you're paying them back. You're on a charge card. You have to pay them back.
Okay. Now, for people who are in high positions, all right, let me rephrase this. For people who have high-paying jobs already, engineers, CNAs, travel nurses, anybody who has a high-paying income, how can credit benefit that person? If they're already set in life, you have a decent paying job where you're not worried about your bills and nothing like that. You already got that. They already got the house. They already got the car they want. What is credit going to benefit them?
Credit is not going to benefit you, but it's going to benefit your children. If you already have a good situation, you have a good home, you have a house, car, etc. Build your credit for your family. Build your credit for your kids. It will. I guarantee. Hold on, re-ask that because I'm about to fuck this one up.
So for the person who already has their income straight, they're already at a high-paying job, maybe an engineer, a travel nurse, who knows? Maybe they're a high-paying, business owner. Maybe they make $10,000 a month already. What would you tell that person, and how could credit help them when they feel like, maybe they already have everything they need in life?
Okay, so if you have everything that you need in life, that doesn't necessarily mean your kids have everything they need in life. Even though you're going to be a provider, but if you invest in your credit and your credit is in a good situation, you can help them 10x and get approved for whatever they want. So even if you don't want to necessarily drop down a full amount for a vehicle, if you put your kids, I fucked that up. I need a. It's there, but I need a. That's that bitch. This was the one. I'm like, oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. All right, let me react. So, all right, what would you tell to the person who they already have a good income? They're maybe at a high paying job already. An engineer, maybe computer science or something like that. They a CNA, travel nurse, who knows? But they already have the house they want, the car. They already have the money. What will credit do for them? They feel like credit is already, it doesn't really matter.
Okay. So what credit would do for you was help you elevate your children. So say, for instance, if you're already paying cash for everything, you're balling. You're going to pay full out for the vehicle, for the homes, etc. But that doesn't mean your kids will do the same thing. You're not going to want to pay for your kids to get a home. You're not going to want to, every time your kid, say, for instance, get in an accident, pay for a new vehicle every single time. Now, What credit would do for you was help you put them in a position towards they can do things on their own. It'll help them grow up faster. Credit is a source that you can use in multiple ways. You can help family members. You can help elevate friends. It's no cap. So having credit is definitely useful, even if you don't need it, because you can help other people get in position just like you are.
Okay. Now, from where you're at right now, did you see yourself getting here?
Honestly, I'm very confident in myself, so I would say yeah, even through the ups and downs. And this is just the beginning. It's just the beginning for me. But yeah, I couldn't see myself getting here because I already knew I like information. I like connecting with people who are in the same space as me and who are like-minded just like me and who don't want to settle for the bare minimum. I don't like settling for the bare minimum. I don't think you should settle for the bare minimum as well. The sky's the limit. The sky is really the limit. And the crazy thing is, I was just on a plane with he's a college football coach for JSU. He might see this, and he was telling me how his cousin is a doctor and he has 2 private jets. And the reason why he was able to do that is, 1, he used credit. He emphasized how important credit was to the T. And 2, he took the risk. He invested in himself. He was already a doctor making a good amount of money, but he went to go get his own practice, and it just doubled or tripled what he was able to do. And now he owns 2 private jets. The sky is really the limit. There's no cap on what you can do. Believe in yourself, invest in yourself. Don't let a tool put you in a hole. Don't let money be the reason you don't do what you want to do.
Okay. What is the actionable step, that someone can do right now? Maybe they have bad credit. Maybe they don't have bad credit, but they're trying to get access to something and the credit is holding them back. Maybe it's not bad, but it's holding them back. What would you tell that viewer on the other side of the screen?
What I would tell you to do is reach out. Reach out to someone that's going to help you. My company, 100K Solutions, we not only help you fix your credit, but we help you build. And I feel like building is the part that most people do not truly do. When I'm building with you, I'm not just building for you, I'm going to build with you. So I'm going to step by step teach you exactly why I'm doing this, how I'm doing this, so you have the information to not only teach yourself, but to teach your kids.
Okay. Now, it's a good episode. We're going to close it out. Any finishing statements you got for the audience or anything you want them to tell them? And where can they find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at 100K Jai. My Facebook is Jai Muhammad. My YouTube is 100K Jai. My TikTok is 100K Jai.
Okay. Now, before they tap in, what do you have to tell them before they tap in? What do they need to do before they come to you?
Before you come to me, read your credit report. Know your goals. And be ready to invest in yourself. This world isn't free. Don't expect it to be free, but I will work with you. You cannot work with my company unless we get on an evaluation call with you to actually see if we can help you. That's just how I personally like to do my business. I don't want your money. I want to see how important these goals are for you and if you actually care about them.
Okay. And that's it. We'll see y'all on the next episode. Make sure y'all go tap in with my guy. His links will be in the description of the video. Make sure you read that thoroughly and go there. Check them out. Until next time, we'll see y'all later.